Hello. Here we are again, the start of a new school year. When I'm out in the classrooms, it really feels like you never left, but I hope many of you got some rest and relaxation with family and friends over the summer. We have so much to be proud of in this school district. Do you realize we are now the #2 school district in terms of our test scores? That really represents the work of so many individuals in the classroom and those individuals that are supporting the classroom through all that important work. But yet we have many challenges that we face in this next school year. I believe that in the history of education in the state of Florida, there has never been a year with so much change. New standards that are really challenging for our teachers and students to achieve those levels of critical thinking, to really understand how to use evidence to support their conclusions, to problem solve at the highest levels, to really write with the knowledge of how to support that writing with text evidence. So many new skills, so many challenges. And we've always known that the standard really needs to be understood in terms of the assessment. We have a little bit more information about the assessment. We have some practice tests. We have a blueprint of the different standards that will be assessed. But I think until we really experience it and our students experience it, it brings so many challenges of how do we bring our students to those high levels. Writing is significantly changed. Now, instead of a prompt where students have a 45-minute period to write to a prompt, you have lengthy text, and then the students are required to perhaps form an opinion based on those texts and then support that opinion, both those supportive claims and those that are in counterclaims. How do you dispute those? That's a very high-level type of writing that our students have perhaps not experienced very much in the past. We've had the new rubrics, but we lack a lot of evidence in terms of the prompts and samples of this type of writing. I think our challenge this year is going to continue to be, how do we provide the type of resources that will really support this type of learning in our classrooms? We don't have all the answers. It's a year where we're going to have to be learning together. In fact, it's a time when even the publishers don't necessarily have all those answers. And so our teachers feel somewhat overwhelmed as they're given more and more resources. Which do we pick from? Which would be the best? So we have to step back and not let anxiety overtake us with these new assessments, but really persevere with some common understandings of what good instruction looks like. How do we support our students thinking at these high levels? How do we step back from not being the hero always to solve those problems and help students that are struggling, but allow sometimes the students to struggle together to deepen their understanding? How do we share things that are working across the district with teachers that have common challenges? Together, we're going to get better at this. We won't have all the answers even when March rolls around and these new assessments are implemented. But together, I think if we strive to think about what's best for our students today, how can we engage them and excite them about their learning? Our students, this is their 1 year for that particular grade level. They don't have the ability to say, well, it'll get better next year. We have a responsibility to do the very best. But that's going to take all of us working together as we look to the state for some answers and begin to support this type of learning. In addition to those new state assessments, this is the year that we were supposed to have tests in every subject area so that all teachers could be evaluated based on their students and their content area. We won't make that very high bar. There are some very large districts in the state that are implementing over 700 new assessments in order to meet that bar. We will have some local end-of-course assessments as we begin to understand how to support this additional testing in a way that makes sense. We'll invite teachers to help us with that process, and we'll learn from it. but we've made a decision not to implement tests in every subject area for this coming year because of the distraction and the incredible amount of work and pressure that puts on every one of us to pull that off in a way that doesn't distract our students. I think when you have years like this, it's easy to get frustrated, and at times you think, I don't know which way to go. That's where we have to look at the support that we can provide each other. And we have to be assured that even in these times of big change, that if we do what we know is right for our students, if we focus on what is going to be best for them, whether you're outside of the classroom supporting the teachers or in the classroom, I think what's drawn us to this work is a desire to make a difference in the lives of our students. You're doing that now. We need to continue and persevere with that work and trust that inside, if we always look towards what's best for our students, we'll make the best decisions. So thank you for everything you do every day to make a difference in our district with our students.